Welcome to Reaching World Podcast, where we highlight the world's largest network of influencers for good, love, and service. Join us in saying thank you to these incredible individuals and organizations by listening, subscribing, and sharing their legacies. And by doing this together, we will help inspire others to leave their legacy of service and love. I'm your host, Zach Garner. Thanks for tuning in to Reaching World Podcast episode. We are honored to be talking to David Bradford, the CEO of FluentWorlds, a language learning virtual reality system that is changing the industry and changing the world, teaching English all across the globe. So we'll go ahead and jump right into his interview. So David, go ahead and introduce yourself to your listeners and tell us a little bit about your background and how you got involved with FluentWorlds.
Hey, sure. Thanks so much. Delighted to be with you today. My name's David Bradford. I've been in the computer industry, almost 40 years. And I've been CEO of two of America's 50 fastest growing technology companies, Fusion.io and HireVue. And I was also executive vice president at Novell for 15 years, which was a huge winner in the state of Utah. Recently inducted into the Utah Technology Hall of Fame, and further was given the Lifetime Achievement Award by Utah Business Magazine, the second ever that they gave. So I've been blessed to have a great career in the computer industry. And now I'm combining my efforts with my PhD wife, Dr. Linda Bradford, who is a PhD in instructional technology. And we're building the world's first and most robust language learning technology platform, and we're doing it in 3D virtual worlds. It's called FluentWorlds. You can find us at FluentWorlds.com.
Wow, that's fantastic. So tell us a little bit more about that. That's very intriguing to me, and I'm sure our listeners. A 3D world where you get fully immersed in the languages. Am I understanding that correctly?
Yes, that's excellent. In fact, think of a native Chinese speaker trying to learn to speak English. Now they can do it on their smartphone. They can walk the virtual streets of New York City, the virtual streets of Las Vegas, or an airport or a restaurant or a hotel. We've created all these 3D environments so that the user can learn the language in context. Immersive contextual learning is shown to be, by a number of different studies, to be the best way to learn a language.
I can attest to that, seeing a lot of friends that travel overseas and do missions and things like that. They can fully immerse in the language. So tell us a little bit about the beginnings and the whole purpose and mission of your platform, FluentWorlds.
Well, listen, we want to increase communications across the globe. I also believe that in 15 years, there could be two just primarily standard languages, and that's Mandarin Chinese and certainly English. English is the language of the internet. It's the language of the computer world, IT, and it's central to communication across the globe. And so we started first teaching English so that people, that's the world's largest market. There are about 1.1 billion people on planet Earth studying English as a second language. Now we offer them the ability to be immersed in English while sitting at their home in Beijing or Paris, France, or Spain, wherever it might be, and they can study on their smartphone and immerse themselves without having to pay $10,000, $20,000 to come live in America for an extended period of time being immersed here.
What a brilliant concept. So David, go ahead and tell our listeners a couple highlights of recent projects or success stories that people have had using your platform or your service.
Absolutely. So we did a deal with Topica, which is the largest online educational institution in Vietnam. They have like 200,000 students. They adopted the FluentWorlds platform. We just did a deal with Deutsche Telekom in Germany, the largest telecommunications provider in Germany, whereby they've taken our app. We created a 3D headset version of it, so you can have a 360 virtual reality experience while walking the virtual streets of America. And they have put that on their virtual reality platform, Deutsche Telekom has. And I get just amazing emails every day across the globe from people that absolutely love what we're doing. I'll give you a couple of quotes. So the former chief product officer of Rosetta Stone has said, "The FluentWorlds environment provides a unique and revolutionary opportunity for teaching language. I believe it will become the preferred way for learners to learn." I got a note from an executive in Morocco just this morning. He says, "It's clear that the FluentWorlds technology is revolutionary. I believe that the next computing platforms will be virtual and augmented reality in the near future. Tablets will be gone, just like desktops. Learning will eventually take place in virtual and augmented reality environments, VR and AR technologies. FluentWorlds is at the forefront of the future, and the vision behind its technology is what attracted me to promote it in the Moroccan market.
Wow, that's remarkable. That's some very high praise from some experts in the field. Now, David, so if I'm listening for this podcast and hearing about FluentWorlds for the first time again, remind our listeners one more time where they can find your platform, get involved with it, or find you guys on a social media platform.
Right. So we have a Facebook page, naturally, with roughly 20,000 followers there. We have a website, www.fluentworlds.com, and there you can see dozens of videos and PowerPoints on our technology platform. We're always looking for great technology talent to augment our engineering team. We're also looking for great teachers to teach in our live platform. So not only do we have a asynchronous do-it-yourself app that's available in iTunes and the Google Play Store today, but we also have a live platform where a native English instructor sitting in the comfort of their home in Provo, Utah, or New York City can be teaching a cohort group of 5 or 10 people, say in Mexico or China, etc. And so we're looking for great teachers to be ESL, English as a Second Language, instructors in that platform. So people can reach out to me at david.bradford@fluentworlds.com to get more information.
David, in closing, I appreciate your time today. It's been a great podcast interview to understand a little bit more about your mission and your platform. But if there's one last thing you'd like our listeners to know or hear, if, say, you had a billboard and you could put something on there that could be read by everybody else in the world, what's that one last thing you'd want our listeners to hear or know?
Well, listen, one of my advisors at FluentWorlds is a gentleman by the name of Nolan Bushnell. Nolan has a number of distinctions. He invented video gaming back in the early 70s with Atari. He also was the first man to hire Steve Jobs. And so Nolan wrote a book called Hiring the Next Steve Jobs. And in that book, he says the following, along the following lines. He says, everybody who has ever taken a shower has had a great idea. It's the person that towels off and goes off and executes on that idea that changes the world. In other words, action is essential to success. You have to get off that couch and actually do something and not just conceive of a great idea. The world has dreamers, the world has doers, but most of all, the world needs dreamers that do. So dream big, but go out and execute, and it'll change people's lives.
Perfectly summed up there. Thank you so much, David. I love that. David, you're a great example of good. You're influencing and changing lives all across the globe. And so we appreciate your efforts and your mission and what you're doing. And we wish you the best of luck in continued future ventures with FluentWorlds. And we're excited to follow FluentWorlds and see how it continues to grow and bless the lives of lots of people. These episodes will be launched on Mondays and Thursdays. And if you'd like someone to be on the podcast, if you think there's someone in your network that should be recognized for the good they are doing in the world, please reach out to us and send us a direct message. We can be found at Reaching World Podcast on Facebook.com. So be sure to find us there, like our page, and submit any ideas or suggestions of individuals or organizations that should be highlighted on this podcast. Now, to finish today's episode, a couple additional ads from our sponsors. Are you a business owner that would like to maximize your staff or sales team's production and overall performance? Go to buildyourtraining.com and see how business owners are empowering their teams by digitizing a cloud-based training platform. Again, go to buildyourtraining.com to help unleash your team's overall potential and performance.